This is a memory that keeps popping up in my head. I still shiver at the thought of it, even though most people tell me I'm being paranoid. I think they're saying that to make me feel better, but so far, it hasn't worked. In 2015, I was living with my then boyfriend. I was 18 at the time. We were living in a very sketchy apartment building in a very sketchy neighborhood. When I say sketchy, I mean crack house type of sketchy. You'd find anything from alcoholics, severely mentally ill people, to drug dealers and heroin addicts living in these apartments. And the police were called to the property once or twice every 2 weeks. They even drove by sometimes to check for safety reasons. There was an incident once during the night. One of the neighbors knocked on the door and my boyfriend went to open up while I was asleep. One of the neighbors, a drug addict who happened to be severely schizophrenic, was at the door, and he barged into the apartment and threatened my boyfriend with a knife. Luckily, my boyfriend managed to calm him down and got him out of the apartment. For reasons like this, we bought a live security camera that we installed on our door, and it also connected to our TV, so we could easily check who was at the door. Everything was fine for a couple of weeks until this one night. My boyfriend's best friend was sleeping over this weekend, and I thank the gods for that. We were all sleeping, and I guess it was around 3 or 4 a.m. at the time when I woke up to someone ringing the doorbell. The camera was connected to the TV, but there was also a small screen attached to the door that I could activate to see who was outside. Since everyone was sleeping in the living room, I walked into the hallway to check the small screen instead of turning the TV on. When I pressed the button, I saw 2 guys wearing hoodies looking at the camera. I paused for a second because I didn't fully understand what was going on. Not until they looked at each other, nodded, and then one of the guys reached his hand towards the camera and ripped it out, making the screen go black. I stood there for about 5 seconds before I realized what happened. I ran back to the living room and shook my boyfriend awake, almost yelling, while also whispering, "Quick, get up! Someone just stole your camera." He darted up and ran outside, and didn't even bother to put on a shirt or shoes. All the noise woke his buddy up naturally. According to him later on, he saw a guy running away into a wooded area, so he chased after him. What he didn't know at the time was that I saw 2 guys and not just one. Well, I think the guy who ran away was just a distraction, because a minute after he ran out, I heard someone entering the hallway. I froze in absolute terror. His buddy noticed that and sprinted to the door separating the hallway and the living room. The conversation went something along the lines of the intruder asking if the boyfriend is there, and the buddy answering that he's not, and proceeding to kick him out of the house. So the intruder left, and the buddy came in with a shocked but also frightened expression on his face. Both of us were in awe about what just happened. My boyfriend came back about 5 minutes later and told us about the unsuccessful chase. Both me and his buddy were terrified as he started telling what happened with us while he was outside. My boyfriend said he only saw 1 guy outside. When I had the time to process the situation, my theories were: A, they stole the camera as a distraction so my boyfriend would chase him, while guy 2 raided the apartment while he was out. Or B, they knew I was there, but not that my boyfriend's buddy was. So they stole the camera to lure him out, so the other one could walk in and either rob the place, assault me, or both. Now, both of these options are likely, the first one more than the other. The reason I also suspect the second theory is because most of the neighbors knew that I lived there with him. Many of them had seen me leaving and entering the apartment, and many of them occasionally said hi to me in passing, so most of the neighbors knew about me as well. I'm also incredibly small, so I'd be an awfully easy target. Luckily, I'll never know what would have happened that night. I don't know what could have happened if he wasn't there that night, but I know for a fact that something would have happened to me. If I wasn't a target to begin with, I definitely would have become one if the guy walked in and saw me alone. Every time I have told this story to friends, they told me that I'm being paranoid and that I probably wouldn't have even gotten hurt, but I really don't believe that. Nobody planned such a break-in without malicious intent to begin with, so I don't doubt for a second that I wouldn't have been caught in the middle of it if I were alone. So, to whoever those hooded guys were that stole our camera and entered the apartment, I hope we never meet again.